And our next pitchee is Catriona Dale from Platinum Compost.
Well, at Platinum Compost, we believe that our compost is the key to achieving ultimate soil and plant health. We are committed to producing premium quality mineral blended compost that will facilitate the rebuilding and maintenance of highly productive, healthy soils for our customers. We are a father-daughter team, a strong working unit, extremely passionate about our product. Chris, my father, has 50 years of practical experience in developing our approach to soil health and plant productivity, emulating as closely as possible the blueprint of nature. Chris's experience in biological farming started on our family's broadacre and mixed grazing property, gaining significant recognition for his work. Chris has continued to apply his knowledge to a wide variety of broadacre and horticultural crops throughout Queensland with spectacular results. His composting methodology has never failed to make a significant impact on any crop it has been applied to. As Platinum Compost, we won the inaugural Australian division of the Future Agro Challenge, a worldwide competition which recognises agricultural innovations addressing sustainability and productivity issues. In Australia, we are facing three main issues in much of our agricultural soil which have a tremendous impact on crop health and productivity: a lack of organic matter or soil carbon, severe mineral imbalances, and the absence of a beneficial biological population in most soil. Very simply, when soil is lacking in these components, it cannot sustain truly healthy nor highly productive crops. Our compost is custom blended to address the specific mineral shortages and imbalances in the target soil and the three components above. Applying this methodology to a large commercial tomato, chilli and capsicum operation in Bowen saw yield increases of more than 200% in the first season without requiring any pesticide or fungicide applications. At the commencement of their second season, the growers achieved savings of approximately $600,000 as a result of double-spaced plantings and ceasing all synthetic fertiliser applications, whilst still achieving their increased harvest quantities. At present, we are seeing a massive shift in the end consumer's focus. The great emphasis now is on who is growing my food, where, how and what with. Is it safe and is it nutritious? Worldwide environmental concerns are also influencing end consumers' purchases, with more environmentally friendly options available, often attracting premium prices. Agricultural producers are seeking greater efficiencies on farm in order to maintain sustainable profitability, and unique to this region too is the access to the premium Asian market through the Brisbane West Wellcamp Airport. Our compost can be applied to all agricultural soils, from grazing through to intensive cropping, which is reflected in our customer base. We have customers awaiting our product from the dairy, broadacre cropping and horticultural industries, which will account for our first batch of compost. We have also been contacted by the chairman of the Australian Mung Bean Growers Association following our story on the local news, seeking our compost as soon as we are in production. It is important to note that our product is not a one-off application. It will need to be applied at least annually in order to maintain peak soil health. Therefore, we will seek to retain a long-term customer base. For our initial composting operation based locally, our target markets are the horticultural producers of the Lockyer Valley region and the broadacre producers on the Darling Downs. A portion of our first batch of compost will be used in demonstration plots with selected growers in the Lockyer Valley. These demonstration plots will play a critical role in displaying our product's capabilities, as most primary producers have an innate need to see, touch and taste before they will consider incorporating new products and methods into their operations. With the enthusiastic support of the Lockyer Valley Regional Council and the region's grower groups, we will tour producers through the demonstration plots, allowing them to see our product in action and promote its use. We plan to operate our own broadacre cropping farm for demonstration purposes, where we can tour groups through and teach the correct usage of our compost. The farm's crops will also provide a secondary income stream. Our greatest competition lies in those servicing the market seeking alternative fertiliser products. A large Darling Downs chicken grower has been composting their manure and supplying it to the Lockyer Valley, currently producing 25,000 tonnes per annum, with demand currently exceeding supply. So how do we compete? Our compost is specifically blended in accordance with comprehensive soil tests of the target soil, ensuring all mineral imbalances and deficiencies are addressed. The chicken manure compost is comprised solely of chicken manure, sawdust and water, not tailored at all to address the target soil requirements. As demonstrated in our slide, we are also very competitive on price. In our first year of production, we are projecting sales of 8,000 tonnes of compost, which will cover 1,600 hectares of horticultural land or 4,000 hectares of broadacre cropping, though we will be supplying to a mixture of the two. This represents a total revenue of $840,000, given that 500 tonnes from our first batch will be used in demonstration plots. Total costs for the year are projected to be $852,000, which include all major startup costs, therefore incurring a loss of $12,000 for the year. Given that the results from the compost are almost instantaneous and the increasing demand for compost in the Lockyer Valley, we are forecasting our sales in year 2 to increase to 12,000 tonnes, providing sales of $1.44 million. In this year, we have made provision to buy out our investor, therefore our total expenses for the year are expected to be $1.285 million, giving us a net profit after tax of $154,000. Economies of scale definitely come into play, with our profit margin running at approximately 7% in the initial stages. By the second year, though, with increased output using the same equipment, land and staff, the profit margin extends to 27%. We are seeking venture capital investment of $250,000. This investment will provide funds for all working capital expenses in the initial period, while sales are relatively small and profit margins are low, though we have grand plans for expansion in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay. We have a question coming on the text line. What is the source of the feedstock for your compost? And we are going over time, so we've got to keep things a bit short and snappy.
So that's a short one for you, Dad.
Very basically, I went back, I've spent 40 years...
Short and sharp.
Feedstock, feedlot manure, ruminant manure. It's the stuff that builds nature. It's what nature wants.
Good answer. You don't owe me any bottles of champagne. Okay, panel, let's fire in some questions.
I love the pitch. Unlike the previous pitches, you had crisp and succinct numbers, you had customers, you mentioned all the right things, you mentioned future profits, ticks all the way. My question is more curiosity. What will go wrong? And now I'm really talking about in your manufacturing process. Talk to me about things that will go wrong. Are there contaminant issues going to bite you? Are there consistency issues going to bite you? What's going to happen?
I've been doing it in fairly large scale in North Queensland for 15 years now. We've never had a failure. I've never had a positive for E. coli or salmonella. It's a very fierce process. It's 28 days. 21 of those days is in excess of 60 Celsius. Nothing much survives. If you got 6 months of rain, that would make it awkward. There's very little else really that can go wrong. Manage it very carefully, mind your oxygen, mind your moisture. God does it.
Yeah, my question was similar to one earlier around logistics and distribution and how you're going to scale up and hit those numbers that you were forecasting for year 2 and 3 and so on.
Do that one.
Okay. So basically, because of the nature of the compost, it has to be in a very localised area around it. So that's why the Lockyer Valley, which is very close, and the local Darling Downs area. For us to expand further, we need to open up other operations, which is also why we wanted to have our own demonstration farm so that we can train up the people. We have got people picked and areas to go. Our next major focus really would be on the reef, given the concern and the government backing around reducing the nutrient runoff and soil runoff into the waterways. The compost is exactly the way to do it. So yeah, it's got to be through individualised operations.
So you're going to have distributed facilities and then you're going to train people to test soil in order to...
So we'll have to train up, so it's individualised operations throughout. They've got to be a standalone operation. Yeah.
Got any questions, Sam?
No, I thought it was a great pitch. I think it was really great. And I suppose reflect comments, like all the numbers were there. It was really kind of cool and clear, and I suppose it's a big well done from me, and thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a text one that's come in. Why is your compost unique? What's the secret sauce?
Or that's Dad's secret.
That's one of those things, yes, I will tell you, but if I tell you, I have to kill you. I'm sorry, that's ours.
That's a good short answer, though. Yeah.
It's taken me 50 years to work this out.
Yep.
So I'm giving it to no one.
That's a great answer. So Catriona knows?
I will.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know yet?
No.
Oh, my Lord.